Come with us as we jump back into the Wayback Machine to go back to Sprint Series 3, Race 1 and 2. So here we see the defending Sprint champion and Season 1 champion, Lisa Norm, in the pink livery, defending his title for Series 3. And the rest of the field at the bottom of the screen. We are here at Lago Maggiore Centre for Race 1. We're going to start in Mitch Cam at the grid in 11th. Kiwi, Connor, Norm, the front three from qualifying. Gnarly, a big creep off the line, waiting for the lights to go still, and we're away and racing. A couple of drivers getting very slow starts. Zambe going around the outside of Rick. Wings getting flanked on both sides by Harris and Mitch. Now Harris goes into the back of Mitch here in front, sends him across the track in front of into Zambe and Rick. Harris carries on, goes side by side with Norm, and Norm gets the run through the corner as they all come around turn 3 for the first time of asking of 9. Now this race features a mandatory pit stop and a mandatory tyre change, which can be taken at any time except for on the final lap. As Mitch is right up behind Zambe as they run down into the final turn, turn 7 for the first time of asking. The front three sorting themselves out. Little tap there as they all come around the corner. 3 wide, Zambe, Rick and Wings. Zambe on the outside in the Lamborghini, getting the run down the hill. Wings in front. Mitch sitting back and watching all this happen in front of him as we go around again in Mitch Cam for the second lap, with Wings, Zambe and Rick all trying to sort themselves out, coming around turn 1 and 2, almost 4 wide, 3 wide on the switchback there. A little bit of a tippy-tappy as they all come around. Con's made a massive mistake and lost his back end in the Mustang. He's dropping down the order, and so is Norm. So there must have been contact between the two of those drivers as we carry on. Kiwi is in the lead, followed by Harris. Contact there as all 4 drivers come around the fast chicane of 5, 6 and 7. 5 and 6, sorry, as they round in the heavy braking zone of 7. Contacts as they all slide around. Slayer hits Wiso. Everybody rolls through and sorts themselves out. At the end of lap 2, chaos. Now Rick and Wings running down into turn 1. Slayer's in third, Zambe in second, Kiwi in the lead. A little bit of a lock up there from Mitch as Rick comes around behind Wings. This is only lap 3 of 9 unfolding in front of us. Now everybody has to side by side there. Who's going to come out the victor? Someone's going to have to address contact once, little tap. And Mitch comes around the outside of Gnarly. Slayer in third. Wiso in fourth. Wings, a little bit of a loss there. Comes up the inside of Rick and gets it done. Potentially, maybe they're going to run side by side over the start finish for the start of lap 4. Rick's going to get the run. There he goes into turn 1 and 2. Ooh, big contact there. Something happened. Something went all sorts of awry there. Con getting mixed up. He's a lap down under blue flag. Rick Green in 5th. Wiso in 4th still. Norm under blue flag getting lapped as well. Now DanZambe in 2nd, Slayer Freak coming around turn 7 as well in 3rd. Kiwi in the lead, coming over the start finish for the start of lap 5, approaching halfway in race 1. DanZambe serves his pit stop. So does Wiso, so does anybody else? Wings comes in, Gnarly comes in. So we start to see the field being broken up by the pit stops now. A little bit more fresh air in front of all the drivers. And Zambe comes out of the pits in 5th. And be pretty happy with that so far, with a couple of drivers left to pit in front of him. Harris behind, Wiso in 7th, Wings in 8th, Gnarly in 9th, Con's in 10th. And Norm is in 11th after their tie-in at the start of the second lap. It's going to leave both of them a massive job to do over the rest of this championship. These 10 races though, plenty of time. Kiwi takes us across the line for the start of lap 6. Fastest lap with a 47 something. Rick comes into the dive for the pits for the new socks, so does Slayer. Zambe in 5th, behind Con under blue flag. Hopefully won't get too tied up as Mitch comes around in 2nd. Zambe Slayer comes out of the pits in 4th. And what's Con going to do? Is Con going to prove? No, he's ran wide there and let everybody through under blue flag. So Slayer in 4th, Zambe in 3rd. Kiwi and Mitch potentially both to pit. A little bit of a loss of traction from Harris there as Kiwi runs down into the pits at the end of lap 6. This is where we're going to see whether the overall of the undercut has worked out. Mitch, will he stay out as Zambe and Harris go side by side? Harris outbrakes himself and Zambe gets to run through. Harris has disappeared. And he comes out side by side with Wiso. Mitch has come in, so that leaves Slayer and Zambe in the lead. Kiwi's now come out of the pits in front of them, well in front of them. So just 3 laps to go, and Kiwi just has to hold on to it, hold his nerve, not make any major mistakes, and we'll be all right. Meanwhile, Wings, Gnarly, and Mitch all come around turn 1. A little bit of tippy-tap there. Over the top of turn 3. Down the hill. Approaching 4, 5, and 6. Kiwi around 7 on the 7th lap. Slayer and Zambe still... Oh, Zambe with a great run through that turn. Neck and neck almost between 2nd and 3rd and 4th and 5th. As Wiso is right behind Harris. He'll look to get the move done into turn 1 on lap 8. Zambe pushing hard to stay with the Slayer Freak, with the Mustang of Slayer Freak. Harris around the outside of Wiso. Tap, lost traction off the track, rejoins rather untidily, and Rick comes through. Wiso in 4th, Zambe in 3rd. Still chasing Slayer with a lap and a half to go. Kiwi still well out the front in daylight. This is the battle as we come around turn 7 for the final, for the second last time. Zambe up the inside with a great lunge. Shuts the door. Slayer looks for the reversal. Almost side by side as they come down the start finish. 1 lap to go. Zambe's got position in 2nd over Slayer. Slayer's going to try and come around the outside. I'll look for the cutback into turn 1. Here we go. Oh, a little bit of a tap there, but they sort it out. Slayer with a better run through turn 2 as they come up and over the hill into turn 3. Slayer in the slipstream as they approach 4, 5, and 6 for the last time. Kiwi well out in front. He's going to take the checkered flag and the full points. But can Slayer make the move, the final lunge into turn 7 for the last time in the Mustang? Is he going to go to look out to win? Zambe defensive line through the corner. Forces Slayer to run wide. And runs very wide. Kiwi takes the checkered flag. DanZambe in 2nd. Slayer Freak in 3rd. Wiso in 4th. Rick Reen in 5th. Harris Clan comes across in 6th. With Mitch close behind him. Wings in 8th. Followed by Gnarly Dude in 9th. And we have Norm and Con somewhere a lap down after their addressal. Well, that's the first race of the series. Here are the points. So Kiwi takes the max damage there. DanZambe on 15, Slayer Freak on 13. And now we're going to flick over to the next race of the series, race number 2. So, thanks for joining us for race 1 and cue title card for race 2. So that's right, it's Dragon Trail Seaside time. Race number 2 of Sprint Series 3. There you see the grid with reverse order with the extra inclusion of Ker's audio after they all ran around Maggiore Center for the first of the 10 races of the series. Here we are, ready to go. Kez, Con, and Norm are going to lead us away. Gnarly's the endurance champion in the bright green. Norm in the bright pink is the season and sprint champion, defending his title here in the sprint series, and we're off and racing. The Mustangs all getting a great start. Slayer Free comes up the middle like Moses. Absolutely all unfolds for him. Con and Gnarly go side by side, approaching turn 1 for the first time, and they all approach the heavy braking zone of turn 2 and the pinch point. This is where it's all going to happen. They all come around. Look at that. Wow, mostly clean for the most part. 1 or 2 drivers losing out. No major winners as they all run down now into the next set of the section to the end of the sector. The double right-hander One's a kick right, almost 3 wide there. That is brave as they all come around now into the slower kick right, up and over the hill, down the hill into the fast S section. It's Con, Gnarly and Lisa still out in front, and the rest of the pack all tight together. You could throw a blanket over it at this point. Look at that. 5, 6, 7, 8 and 9 all together. Rick Green behind Mitch, runs wide, almost lets Kiwi through. Chasing on Mitch, Harris and Slayer. With Con, Gnarly and Norm out the front as they all run down the hill now. Very hot into the heavy braking zone, into the hairpin. On prelude to the chicane of death. Look at that, 2 wide, a bit of door shut there from Harris in front of Kez. Rick looks to go almost side by side with Mitch, but obviously they think better as they approach the chicane of the death for the first time. Here we go, Con comes through, Gnarly, Norm, Phil, Slayer, Harris Clan, Kez Audio. Oh, there's a massive Kiwi, and somebody else made a huge mistake there. They went to almost go 2 by 2 through the death chicane, and that is what happens. Zambe prevailing over a couple of slow exits out of the chicane for the first time as we come around for the end of lap 1 of 4. There's a mandatory pit stop in this race, so Norm's going to serve it on the end of lap 1. We're going to go around 3 more times. And the Mustangs, 3 Mustangs out in the front, Con, Gnarly and Slayer, all running hot down that start-finish straight, stretching the legs as they all come around into turn 2 and 3, uphill over the camber. Kez gaining ground on Harris, they're going almost side by side as they approach the double right into the end of the sector. Gnarly's closed the gap on Con. Kez is going to be looking for a way around Harris any way he can. Mitch is in 6th, Wings is in 7th, and Wiseau is in 8th. Norm has served his pit stop. Rick's in 9th, Zambe's in 10th. Zambe in the Bacardi Lamborghini, running hot on wings. Con and Gnarly and Slayer coming up over the hill now to approach the technical section of the final sector. As Kez Audio gets the job done in the slipstream area. Wide around that hairpin turn as we all run into the chicane of death again now. Harris Clan right behind. Kez Audio, Con comes through for the first roll of the dice. Con, then Gnarly, then Slayer. Con was a little untidy. Kez gets it through as well, loses his back end a bit on the exit. Why so? Zambe in 8th, he's going to run through as well. Not too bad, a little bit of tap on the wall maybe. Norm in 9th, gets through cleanly. Now here they are, Gnarly and Con side by side, but Gnarly's going to pit, and so is Slayer. So is Kez, so's Harris. Mitch is going to stay out. So Con and Mitch are still out with a pit stop remaining. Why so, we are not sure. He may or may not still have to pit. We're about to see everybody exiting the Norm with the undercut. Here we're going to see where Norm comes out compared to everybody else. Gnarly in 4th, Slayer in 5th, and Norm comes flying around the outside of Slayer. Will he get Gnarly in the braking zone? No, he doesn't. He slots in between Gnarly and Slayer Freak with 2 laps to go. So those 3 drivers having all served their penalty. This might be the battle for first place. Norm looks to go up the inside around turn 4 or 5 or 6. Gnarly's still in the lead. Slayer having a peek up and over the hill. Might have an opportunity to go side by side through these fast chicanes, but it's not a good idea. Gnarly leads them through. Gnarly, Norm, Slayer, with Con, Mitch and Wiseau still out in front to pit. Now, what's going to happen as they run down the hill here? Side by side. Gnarly lost out in the hairpin as they run down through the chicane section. A little bit of lost footage there, but Gnarly just outbroke himself, no contact or anything, as they run down now into the final corner for the penultimate time. Con's gone into the pits for his pit stop. Slayer and Gnarly and Kez. Kez gets the move on Gnarly on the inside run. Slayer's backed right out of it, looks for the switchback. They almost come. Slayer pays off over Gnarly. Great move. Mitch, Wiseau and Con all in the pits. Kez leading the rest of the drivers over the line. But no, Norm and Con out in front. Norm's got away from the chaos. Con in his pit stop has come out in front of Kez, Gnarly and Slayer, all battling for third. What a shake-up. Con with the overcut and the clean track gets it done. Norm with the same idea going earlier on the undercut. With the clean space gets that done. Kez Audio in third, battles his way through the grid for most of the race very well. And Slayer and Gnarly battling for fourth. Both the Mustangs losing out on strategy overall, battling all the way around, taking the same pit window. Now, final lap into the final sector for the final time. Con's looking for a way to close the gap on Norm. Gnarly and Slayer both go in very tight, bumper to bumper, into the chicane section. Slayer looks to almost go side by side around the outside, but can't get it done. Here we are, final sector. Norm, Con through the chicane of death. Kez, final time, gets through cleanly. Slayer and Gnarly get through clean, almost a tap on the wall. Mitch gets through as well. And Harris claimed by the chicane of death there. DanZambe hopefully got the run through. We didn't get to see Wings and Rick at the back, but the checkered flag and the max points goes to Lisa Norm over the line, followed by Con, Kez Audio, Gnarly Dude, Slayer Freak, Mitch, DanZambe in seventh. Oh, big server penalty on the line from Mitch. And then Wiso gets Zambi over the line as well. Harris in ninth. Kiwi, Wings and Rick all come around to finish it off. I think Kiwi's just going to get Wings and Rick here to the checkered flag. We flip across to the results, so here they are. So Norm on 23 after 2 races. Slayer Freak on 24 after 2 races. DanZambe on after 23 after 2 races. Look how close it is. Kiwi after 23 after 2 races. All the top 5 or 6 all within 4 or 5 points of each other. 2 or 3 points of each other, I think. Well, thank you very much for joining us. That was absolutely phenomenal. We'll see you soon for another double header from Sprint Series 3.